Alright guys, welcome back to another video and welcome to Heathrow Airport. Now, Heathrow Airport is a place that, doing what I do over the last few years, has become somewhat of a second home to me. For example, last year I flew in and out of Heathrow over 20 times, and as it happens, as soon as I finish filming this video, I'll be flying out of Terminal 5 heading to Santiago in Chile. To me, Heathrow Airport is far more than just a means to fly. It's the gateway out of Britain to the rest of the world and back, and the start and end of every adventure. Now today, what I'm doing is very different. Today, I'm getting an exclusive behind the scenes look at Heathrow Airport and parts of it that are usually inaccessible to the public. Things like how our baggage gets from here all the way down and onto the plane and off the plane, and exploring parts of the runway and the airfield that I'd usually only get to be able to see through a plane window. I'm both very intrigued and very excited, so let's do it. Right, so first up we have the first point of call for the baggage. I'm high-vised up, I've got my hard hat on. Obviously there's a lot of moving machinery around here, so safety first, kids. Now, I don't believe anyone that says that when they've checked in their bag, they don't wonder what happens to their bag, where it goes, what system takes to the plane. Well, we're in the room where you first see the first steps of what that happens. So let me talk you through it. So these machines at the end here are hoists, and that's the immediate point. So when you put your bag in check-in, you see it disappear in that conveyor belt. It drops down these hoists through this conveyor belt onto this massive one, into this huge room, which is like Disneyland for luggage. Now, an important part of bag security is that the bags need to be flat. They need to be laying flat down so they can be scanned properly before getting on the plane. And obviously you can't control once it's through what happens to a bag. It could be on its side, it could be upside down, it could be on an angle. So they've got all these systems in place that put it flat in order for it to be scanned. If it stays on its side, oh, it's just tipped over, so that is now good to be scanned. Now, if it had stayed on its side, it will go through another process where it will go down all these conveyor belts, down these ramps into a machine that will deliberately flip it round in order for it to be scanned. The final bit of the baggage area that we're going to see is something that I've always wondered, I've always been curious how it works, is connections, so that connecting flights. You land at one airport and you take off from the same airport when it's sort of like a middle point of your journey. I've got flights before that have had a 40-minute, 45-minute long layover, and I'm thinking, how is my luggage getting from this plane through the system and onto the other plane before I do and ready to take off? And the answer has blown my mind. You've seen how the suitcases come on the conveyor belts from the check-in, but when they've got to be quicker, they go on these trolleys. It's basically a roller coaster for luggage. They shoot across this room, do the appropriate screening, and then if they need to go to another terminal, they fly down this tunnel about 30 miles an hour underground to get to the other terminal, and the same vice versa. Mental. So the next stage, and one of the final stages of the way the baggage comes through past the screening and before it gets onto the plane, is here. So it comes down the conveyor belt and loaded onto these bins, which are obviously what you see when they come out onto the airfield and loaded onto the plane. And then when you know you've got all the bags, you can close the bin, push it onto the trolley, and off it goes onto the plane. That baggage bit absolutely blew my mind, but now we're on to the next bit on the airfield, on the runway. Hopefully going to get some amazing shots and amazing views of planes taking off, landing, and everything else going on. This is our vehicle we're going to be scooting around in. Let's do it. Madness. Right, so first up on the airfield is the end of the runway where the planes come in. You've got the lights here that guide them in at night. Here's one coming in right now. This is mental. Oh my God. Right, on to the next point. Honestly, I'm like a little kid in a sweet shop right now. This is amazing. So we've come to the last point that we're going to check out on the airfield. This is the moment where hundreds of people, all collectively at the same time, leave the land, head up into the sky to whatever adventure they may be doing, and it sounds and looks and feels a little bit like this. Right, so that's it for our behind the scenes look at Heathrow Airport. I said it at the start of the video and I'll say it again now. Heathrow is just so much more than a means to fly. For me, it's such a huge part of the story, and I think it's the same for the visitors that come through here as well too. For them, it is their first impression of the country, and as soon as they land, they are immersed in British culture. Be it through the wall art, the British imagery, or the fact that you can walk straight onto the London Underground, the world-renowned London Underground. And those same thoughts and sentiments have been reciprocated far more elegantly than any way that I could ever deliver by spoken word artist Caleb Femi in a really well put together video. I've linked it down in the description, make sure you go and check it out. Thoroughly recommend it. But other than that, that is where I'm going to end this video. Thank you very much for watching. I've got a flight to catch. If you have enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next video.